to tell by the audio or the video. We have a new phone that does the live videos, donated by Harvey. Thank you very much, Harvey. Rose sent us some phones from the States, some second-hand phones that cannot be used. She sent us parts, but Rose, we have no use for parts. We spend so much money getting those two phones for you, Rose. You gotta buy a phone. But I know you did it with a good heart. But Harvey stepped up because we've been waiting a couple weeks now. What was going on with the other phone? Because the other phone the battery was dead. Now, we could have sent it and changed the battery again and all that kind of bacchanal. But it was time to upgrade. The new phone have more memory and can do more stuff. So, Harvey, thank you, my brother. Rose, thank you for trying. Satish, thank you for the 1,000,000 trips to the bond. Apparently, those two old phones that Rose sent, they sent them in the wrong place in America. And they had to track down those phones and find those two phones and resend them to Trinidad. And boy, let me tell you, that was drama. For two phones that cannot use, they're ID blocked. And so it was funny. It was funny because we've been trying to do this for weeks now since Citizens Union. I'm sucking a Ricola because I have a itchy throat. So yeah, right. So tonight we in a gear because we fully loaded. This week the sign-up crew has been signing up Citizens Union members feverishly. Chances are, if you have filled out the form on the Citizens Union page, somebody would have called you over the past couple of days. If not, once you filled out that form, stand by. They're calling you. Do not send me a million messages saying I signed up and they didn't call me. We literally overwhelmed. And that's a good problem to have, don't get me wrong. But the team hard at work and they're sorting it out. And in quick time, everybody will be members of Citizens Union of Trinidad and Tobago. I'll tell you why that's a good thing. The Citizens Union of Trinidad and Tobago is an organization of people outside, transcends politics. You don't need to be a racist demagogue to be in the Citizens Union of Trinidad and Tobago. You don't have to be black and hate Indian. You don't have to be Indian and hate black. You don't hate nobody. The Citizens Union is about uniting the nation. And we plan to be a proper counterbalance to public sector abuse and private sector abuse. Phillip, what do you say public sector abuse? What do you mean? This one, I want Rowley, Harryback, Faris, Colm, Stewart, Sinanan. I want all of them to hear me come in. Because you can't do what you do. And I want you to know that I know when them PNM trolls sit down in your meeting and you say, we go get them pressure, we go jam them with water, we go jam them with TNTech, we go jam them with property tax. Because you see, there is a strong allegation of impropriety taking place in Trinidad and Tobago, where it is rumored, we don't know yet, but we will get to the bottom of it. You see, this is what the Citizens Union is for. The Citizens Union is getting 100,000 citizens together to give power back to the people. I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to get an audit of the PNM membership and how many members of the PNM have CPEP contracts. How many members of the PNM have URP 10 days? How many members of the PNM got exemptions to come into Trinidad? How many members of the PNM getting food card, food stamps, getting anything from the state disproportionately to everybody else? Because if, and I said if, but we're going to court for this, and we're going Trinidad court, and then we're going England court. Listen now, hear me come in, boy. Hear me come in. This is what it was for. We went through the whole system. We went through the rigged election. We come in. Let them watch. Tell them they go hear the people. They go hear the people. Sorry, they go hear the people of this country raw. I need to suck this sucker talk. So I apologize for sucking this and talking. But hear what? If in a court of law, documents prove that the People's National Movement, a political party, has a disproportional allocation of public assets to as opposed to anybody else, that is criminal corruption. And the whole thing gonna fall down right there. Of course, the Citizens Union is going to use freedom of information and the courts. We're gonna be busy. Whether the media tell you or not, whether people say it or not, whether people tell you what they tell you, it doesn't matter. We all know what we do and what we for. And whether the media tell you that it is Phillip Alexander, a member of I-95, that's all this week. A member of I-95 called me yesterday morning. Mr. Alexander, did any of our journalists call you to interview you on the letter you wrote to President Trump? I said, no, ma'am. I said, wow. And that just showed how corrupt and beholding the media is, but it's okay. They wouldn't tell you, they wouldn't bring you on the news and tell you, you see, it ain't cross David Abdullah mind. It ain't cross none of the shit snake wannabe politician parties, brown tongue, brown nosers, all of them who line up, taking pay packet. They cross none of their mind that this little latrine that they turn Trinidad and Tobago in, it's not the sum total. It don't end here. So when Gary Aboud, down on his knees, praying to Massa Rowley, I said, miss me with that bullshit Gary Aboud. I went to Trump. I said, Mr. Trump, as the biggest, most powerful nation in the Western world, we come to you for help. Because if this tanker sink or turn over, it will destroy our ecosystem and much of the Caribbean. And the United States Embassy answered today. So whether Trinidad and Tobago bought and paid for contract mafia-owned media, carry the story or not, it doesn't matter. Because you see, when 100,000 of us bark just now, we go back loud. When 100,000 of us tell we friends, hey, that paper is not we friend. Don't buy that. You can see. Now, I'll tell you something. We want a level play field. We don't want no favors. We just want a level play field. So if you give in every 2x4 and 1x3, pitch pine and white pine, if you giving them column inches and interviews on your morning shows, but you're not taking us on, no problem. All we have to do is stop taking you on. All we have to do is make a list of all the advertisers in your paper. All we have to do is make a list. This is how democracy works. This is how it works. This is why Aunt Jemima is no longer Aunt Jemima. This is how Uncle Ben's is no longer Uncle Ben's. Because even though they represent 10% of the population of America, the Black Lives Movement, Black Lives Matter movement has mobilized about 40% of the people. And they are taking serious boycott action on everything. And they're proving a point. You know what's the point they're proving? People freaking power. And it was always going to come down to that. And if all you feel, we go in and sit back and let Trinidad become Venezuela, take a Andrews for that feeling. You know what I'm saying? Because take us to the Fed. Because we're not letting it happen. And this is the only political activist, the only politician in this country that's still not for sale. Not to the PNM, not to the UNC, not to the 1%, not to the contract mafia. We want a better country. We want a better place to live. We want a better place for our family. We are not going to join you and help you sink this boat. It's over. The Citizens Union of Trinidad and Tobago has wheels on the ground. And we're coming. And we're coming to stand tall as a democratic nation, I want Fox News and CNN to cover that the Citizens Union of Trinidad and Tobago reached out to President Trump to ask him to please intervene. Come and empty that tanker. I don't care if the other end of the hose is up Maduro's ass. I don't care. Fill that Bamsi with oil. You see, for everybody who wanted to defend Maduro, you see that hostage taking that he do there with that oil tanker? If all you know, your whole family, your whole generations will grow up never knowing what Maracas and Pigeon Point look like if that tanker turn over. Movie Tongue and all of them that always say damage the mangrove, that is joke. There will be a black ring around Trinidad and Tobago for a decade to come. All our ecosystem will be dead. They will kill everything in the sea. And hear me, we're not taking that. We want the President of the United States of America to come to the Caribbean and stand strong and tell them. And we don't want to hear about Putin and China. This is the Western Hemisphere. I'm not interested in living in Russia. I'm not interested in learning to talk Chinese. I'm happy how I am. I'm happy how this nation is. And we didn't reach out to Trump to support him. We didn't reach out to Trump to endorse him. We reached out to him as the President of the United States, the most powerful man in the free world. And we asked him, sir, we need help. In our country, we can't get off our ass to fix this. And the leadership of Venezuela is threatening the environment of all of our countries. Please, drag that tanker up into Caracas and let the Venezuelans deal with that, because I ain't hearing Venezuelans talking. Drag it up into Caracas and park it there. Let it spill there. I don't mind that. I know how to take care of Venezuela. My job is the Caribbean Sea, Trinidad and Tobago, and the rest of the islands. Either pull up with 2 more tankers and take the oil out of it, take the oil and dump it in Caracas, or drag the freaking tanker up into Caracas. It doesn't matter to me. It is time that the problems in Venezuela stop being Trinidad, little Trinidad and Tobago's problems. We only have 56 million people. I only have a country that could swallow ours in size. And only have more oil than God. Okay? We jam in, and nobody was coming to rescue us. Alright? I find it is time that the Venezuelan problem go back to Venezuela. And I understand that the Coast Guard found a boat at sea this week here and arrested the people. They're in custody to be deported back to Venezuela. That's the whole job. Let the word spread in Venezuela. If you swim, if you drive, if you fly, if you walk on freaking water, if you reach Trinidad and Tobago, they're sending you come back home. Because Trinidad can't handle Trinidad problems. We certainly, I said that from the start. We could have built in Cedros, we could have built a whole plan, a whole place for refugees, that they come in and they process them and ship them wherever else in the world that they're rubbing rosary beads for them. Don't rub rosary beads in England. Don't rub rosary beads in Canada. Don't rub rosary beads as far away as China. And all you ain't taking the people. China, you care? Pick up all. Take them, China. Trinidad too small to be dealing with Venezuela problem. And to all the Venezuelan people who are going to have a problem with that first generation, second generation, third generation, I want you to hear this. Kiss my half-red ass. Because we did not send and call you. Don't put this on us. And that oil tanker right now in that Gulf should tell every single supporter of Maduro what a jackass that jackass really is. Because he don't care. And he don't have to care. But I do. And we do. So we need to make sure that this country is protected from eco-terrorism. That is what Maduro is doing. By leaving that ship sinking, threatening our country, that is eco-terrorism. And we want it done. I wrote Trump. The next day, Gary Abo did a video and he realized that he wasn't trapped in Trinidad. And he doesn't have to bend down on the ground and lick the ground and call Rowley name, Massa King, please, sweet, oh God, Lord, come help me. No, you don't have to. There's a whole world, 186 other countries outside there that we can turn to for help. And the help we want is somebody to rescue us from the threat of eco-terrorism in Venezuela. Because our government can't get their head out their ass long enough to look up and see that that's what's going on. And that's the truth. That's the God's honest, absolute truth And who vex loss? Loss. And I know there are a lot of people driving their Porsches because Porsches are cheaper than Toyotas. And I know a lot of y'all posing and stunting in traffic in your cheaper than a Toyota Porsche. And I want to tell you, tonight, I want you to know, we did not win the election. I did not expect to win a rigged, racist, tribal, bought-out election. I didn't. I never did. I wanted to go through the system. I wanted to show that we were capable of, even under a media blackout with no cocaine, funny money supporters, we were able to build a political movement and on the strength of people power. Because give yourselves a pat on the back and a round of applause. Every single dollar that we spend, CNC3 and TV6, I'm willing to bet. I don't know, and I can't know that our rates was higher than UNC and PNM, and all you still pay it. And when all you was paying them rates, the rates went up, and all you was still paying the rates, and all of a sudden the PNM and the UNC buy out all the freaking time. But the point was made. The point was made that we were capable, we were able, and we stood up. You thought that that was it. You thought that we were like all the rest of them little fly-by-nights, put a stone in the cricket, and the cricket done, go home. They have plenty other games to play. We didn't just come here for cricket, pal. I told y'all already, we didn't come this far to only come this far. The mission was always to rescue Trinidad and Tobago. The mission was always to unite the people under one flag. Red, white, and black, the Citizens Union of Trinidad and Tobago. You hear that name? You hear that name? It's clear. Tell you what coming. So you could be the best PNM sycophant and the hardest UNC troll. Walk your walk, pal. We don't care. We plan to use the Constitution of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago and every law that flow from it. And you see, like there was a woman named, was she named Penny? I can't remember. Some PNM troll living in England on the CNC3 wall because the member of Parliament who appealed to the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago by Christ, by God, by Allah, by everybody, all the old gods and the new. You're responsible for these people. They have a right to their country. You cannot keep them out by law. You cannot. You are breaking fundamental, basic, natural law. And that is our leader in the Commonwealth. But this woman jumped up on she PNM soapbox and hit the man, took out. And she said, as a resident in London, well, I tell her on that same CNC thread, babe, I hope your status clear. I hope you're properly well organized and you're not one of them barrel hiders in London. Because MI5, TTPS, they're looking and they're listening and they will find you and all your pick-me and punani and everybody could find themselves back home with that piece of bitch talk you're bitching. Now you're a deportee. Sitting down around the savannah with your belongings below your foot, hoping that Rowley and Colm and Rohan come and rescue you. And it is only then that you will realize PNM don't really care about nobody. And if you jump out yourself to defend the PNM and it backfire and blow up in your face, you're on your own. The people of this country need power. The people of this country need a voice. The people of this country need to have law work for them, not against them. The people of this country need that parliament to serve them. The people of this country need to know that they own WASA, they own B-Mobile, they own TNTech, they own NLCB. You can't sell nothing if the people of the country not say you can't sell it. The court is for that. And this court answers to the Privy Council. And we will make sure that continues. Listen, it is the power of the people that upholds a democracy. And in this one, we are a republic as well. So law, the rule of law, a nation ruled by law. And as long as we are a nation ruled by law, we will make that constitution work for us. To all the little UNC intellectuals and the PNM intellectuals who talking all this shit, all you're talking, the PNM and the UNC have done nothing of substantial value for this country for all of its 58 years. Nothing. You can't pick a thing. You could point out a Cuba hospital and a Taruba stadium and you should be shamed for a country that spent $3 trillion. This nation should be Wakanda. We should have a dome. We should have a bubble. We should be walking on moving floors. This country spent $3,000 billion Where is that money? What did we get for it? Countries that didn't have 1% of that doing better than us. Barbados, Antigua, St. Kitts, St. Lucia, Dominica, Grenada, Guyana, everybody else passed Trinidad and Tobago, and we were the number one. We were number 3 in the Western Hemisphere, number 1. We were ahead of Brazil, Argentina, Venezuela. We were number 3. It was America, Canada, and we. And all of us sit down and play ham and jam time. We clapping, brr, brr, brr. Look, they build one out of silver and they build a next one out of gold. Neither is for you, but you're clapping like an ass. And now your children belly swell with gas and hunger, and you're outside there rubbing head, hoping that if you're posting enough shit on Facebook, Rowley will send Colm or Faris in one of his 3 Porsche to slow down, open the back door, and throw out 2 pack of Charles chocolate and sunshine snack corn curls for you. Eh? How stupid. How stupid, how insipid you have to be to still be supporting PNM. What an ass you have to be. Or you're getting paid. And if you're getting paid, if it's called development money, if it's money called make building stadium in Grenada, then all right, pay them with that. If it's Faris, rental contract, mortgage contract, he's a rental and mortgage contract lawyer. If it's money that Faris make doing rental, and those churchong used to get 50,000 or 100,000 to write letter, if it's from that money that only get in mind, no problem. But if PNM members with PNM party card get in mind with Trinidad and Tobago dollars, we're going to have a conversation, because that is my money. And I can't be paying for water, and I can't be paying for TNT, and you getting that shit free. That ain't gonna stand, that ain't gonna fly. The Citizens Union of Trinidad and Tobago is going to make sure that we level the playing field on top and below. We're making sure that politics is not used to beat the people into submission. If you are not yet a member of the Citizens Union of Trinidad and Tobago, do yourself a favor and your country some real overdue justice and join. There is strength in numbers, and all we need is you, your name, your signature. We don't even need your voice. I'll speak for you. I'll speak for you. We will stand firm. We will go back in time. We will go to Canada. We will ask Justin Trudeau, give me the authority, people. Give me the authority. I'll go to Canada and ask Justin. Justin, there is a building in Scarborough in Toronto that belongs to the people of Trinidad and Tobago that was built with stolen money by a PNM operator by the name of Johnny O'Halloran that has been passed on to his heirs, and we would like it back because it belongs to the people of Trinidad and Tobago, and we would appreciate your assistance, Mr. Trudeau, if you stand for all the things that your people say that you stand for. And that's just the start. We want our money back. We want it back. We're going all up and down the road where everybody is who turn overnight success, who come from one store, build 50 stores in 124 stores in 10 years. We want back what is ours. We want to make sure that the country is properly run. I don't need to be Prime Minister. We don't need to be in government. We will make sure that those who take that job do that job properly. It's like water, it's like wasa. I want to know, how is it possible that the Minister of Finance could tell the people time to pay a better rate for water when we're not getting water? We're not getting water. So how are you going to charge people for something that they're not getting? And you know what? They're paying it now. They're paying it now, but that have to stop. Meter everybody. Meter everybody and charge us by the drop. And make sure, partner, make sure that we're charging Sabga, Sinanan, Chin, and me is the same rate. Make sure I ain't paying more. Make sure that people in Morvan, Beatam, Lavantel, and Silots, when they get a connection, if you go by them and say if you have a PNM party card, we go pass your meter straight, make sure that they're happening. Because that is a criminal act. That is fraudulent conversion. That is taking public funds to use for private political transactions. And we are not going to tolerate that any longer. And I want Trinidad and Tobago to hear these words. I want you to stop being fooled by political charlatans who are on their overnight conversion on the road to Damascus, all of a sudden have all the answers and know how to speak and they know how to talk because they hear me speak and they hear me talk. And they realize that the people are excited. They're turned on by such knowledge and such information and people willing to stand up for them. All of a sudden, I'm seeing activist politicians on the radio and on the TV trying to sound like we. Well, all right, you want to sound like we? Tell us what your position is on the 1% and the contract mafia, because that too deserves an answer. Apples, grapes, and cereal is a pull on the economy. Not forestry Porsche, not at all. Not 1 and 3 Alexandra Place, of course not. Your family eating healthy apples and grapes and cereal because we don't grow far at all in this country. When you buy a mango on the side of the road, you're paying $20 for it. You're not buying a Spranger mango. You're buying a mango that come into this country on the CARICOM jetty down on the port. We don't grow one ass. So when you see avocado season, you think you're buying a Trinidad avocado. You're not. That's the truth. 682-2110. If you want to ask a question on WhatsApp, ask it now. If you want to make a contribution, you want to call, make your call. 682-2110. The Citizens Union of Trinidad and Tobago is our last best opportunity. It's a way to unite the people into prosperity. If you want a better country, and I watch a man who is a senior person in society, and he posted up yesterday about how difficult the banks are, and I wanted to tell him, when your plate was full on the table, you look around the table, you saw other people catching their ass to get some food on the plate, the time to talk was then. Then take the jam. Now jam reached by you. And you're looking to talk, and you're talking on Facebook, hoping that the rest of them who had the empty plate run to your rescue. Where were you when they was hungry and you was eating? Where were you then, my friend? And I tell you all that all the time. Don't look to us to come to run to your rescue. If you was eating ham and jam time and you didn't give two shits about the people when they were suffering. Hello, good evening, you're live.
Good night, Phillip. I'm a first-time caller. I'm calling from New Jersey.
Welcome.
Yeah, I'm intrigued by just about everything you say, and Trinidad is really I hate to say shit all. But I hope one day it will be fixed so I could come home and
we're fixing it. We're fixing it, my brother. As a Trini living abroad, you're entitled to join the Citizens Union. Please reach out to Felicia Holder, 769-4590. Send her a WhatsApp and tell her sign you up right away and she'll take care of you.
I have already signed up for it. Myself and my wife.
Fantastic. Well done. Welcome aboard, my friend. Thanks for the call.
I will contribute whatever it takes.
Thank you for the call. Spread the word. Let's do this.
Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.
682-2110. You could call. Good night, Philip. Do you see them selling Wassa with some sort of third-party contract similar to NP? All that have to done. All that have to done. That's what you have a court for. The state cannot. The state is the people of Trinidad and Tobago. That's you. That's me. We are the state. We are the state. The government is people that we hire as the state to operate the country. I'm a young man trying to get knowledgeable on the issues of Trinidad. Any advice? Also was the first order of business for the Citizens Union of Trinidad and Tobago to unite the people in common cause, in defense of our common democracy, to make Trinidad and Tobago a better place to live for our elders, a safer place to live for our children, and a place where all of us happy to call home. I'm a young man trying to get knowledgeable on the issues of Trinidad. Just keep tuning in to this live video. Now that Harvey has made it possible for us to start back the lives, you'll be getting plenty more. All right, we're getting... The phone is... I have two calls here. Hello, good evening, good night, you're live.
Mr. Alexander, good night, sir, good night.
Good night.
Can I just sign up or is there a fee to sign up? I just want to know.
There's an annual dues, it's $250. There's a one-time registration of $100. The Citizens Union is a serious organization. It's going to be incurring costs to operate, including legal fees to take on all of these matters. And we're representing people who want a better country.
Okay, good. I just wanted to know. Okay, so I'm going to call and... So just give me the number again to call and sign up.
769-4590.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Hello, good evening, you're live. Hello, good evening.
Hey, Phillip.
Hi, yes, you're live. You hearing me?
Yes. Sorry, go ahead.
Listen to me on the phone that you're talking to me on, and not on the broadcast. There's a delay.
Yeah. Sorry. So my question is, what's the strategy for mobilizing the population? Do we need education in general? Do we need education in protesting in our rights? So what do you think we really need?
We need to love our country. Trinidadians are the brightest people in the world. When Trinidadians leave Trinidad and Tobago and go anywhere else on this planet, they not only survive, they thrive, they go incandescent. Trinis lead the world in so many disciplines, and they left here as bartenders and promo girls. I think that the people of this country just have to want a better Trinidad and Tobago. Many of the people follow me because they say you are saying what I always had in my head. The fact that you had it in your head means that you're capable of coherent, logical thought, and that is the biggest first step. No, I don't think we're undereducated. I think we're under-motivated, and we need to motivate ourselves to stand up for that red, white, and black. We must hang that flag in front of our house. Yeah, we must. Trinidad and Tobago is going to be, again, in my lifetime and yours, one of the best places in the world to live. It starts and it ends with us joining hands, joining arms, walking together as one people under one flag. And that's where we need to go.
All right. Okay, have a good night.
You too, my friend. 682-2110. If you want to ask, are unions relevant anymore? Yes. And what about the self-imposed MP pension? We could deal with that. We could deal with that, because if people are in office and they want to continue on in office, how much is the fee? Well, I just answered as 100. There's a one-time only $100 registration fees, and for the first 10,000 people, it's $250 a year to be a member of the Citizens Union. But membership has more than advantages, and you will find out, because on top of everything else, we are going to be a consumer club. We're going to leverage our collective value to make sure that we get discounts and equity from as many businesses and organizations as possible. So we will make sure that that little red, white, and black card in your wallet and in your pocketbook will save you and serve you time and time again. I just saw the end of your intervention on Venezuela. The coastline of Falcon State has suffered 9 oil spills right in front of the El Palito gas refinery. Venezuela's important gasoline and additives from Iran and Albuquerque refineries are shut down. Venezuela went from 5.7 million barrels a day to 200,000 a day in 20 years of this government. PDVSA owes all its suppliers money. They have not paid invoices for 9 years. Venezuela had over 2,000 oil drills working in 1998. Now there are only 2 working. There's a lot of information this person just sent me. Yeah? I wanna applaud that British MP who stepped out of his crease to speak up for Trinidadian people. Thank you so very, very much. You did a lot. I want to read something that was sent to me. Dear parents, the CUREP Presbyterian School CPS Online Education Committee and the PTA come to you in this time of need. Many of our children desperately need help with sourcing digital devices to help them with their education during this new normal in our country. We have set up an online account where you can help donate towards helping our children. Like you, these children are part of the family, the national family. Let's try to make a difference in their lives by helping them access an education. We have set up a fundmetnt.com account. Go to fundmetnt.com and search CUREP Presbyterian. Every child deserves to learn. Any contribution will go a long way with helping our children. Thank you. The Minister of Education said 90% of the children will attend school. So the other 10%, 20,000 children, what is to become of them? Are they the people for the TTPS to chase in the night when they're trying to also have a life and to eat a food? Because everybody needs to eat at the end of the day. Yeah? So make sure that when you're clapping yourself on the back, that your child passed for Fatima and your child passed for St. Mary's. There are 20,000 children that right now they're preparing to come rob your child because we ain't do nothing to provide for them to get a proper education. Still passing for St. Mary's and Fatima in a world where all the classes now online. So all the schools supposed to be the same. How you getting a prestige education or a different education remains to be seen. But this is a jackass government that has no idea what they're doing, because we could have centralized education now and every single child should have been working on the same exact curriculum, through the same exact system. Good night, sir. What's some strategies you're looking at to tackle the banks? Many. But like everything else, our first step, unite the people. Unite the people. Because the banks, like everybody else, the banks could treat one person with disdain and contempt. The bank could treat 10 people with disdain and contempt. The bank cannot treat 10,000 people with disdain and contempt like a bee in a hive. One bee bothers nobody really, but a swarm of bees will get even the strongest man on the run. Rudyard Kipling said in the Jungle Book, the strength of the wolf is the pack. The strength of the pack is the wolf. Let us unite the wolves of Trinidad and Tobago under the red, white, and black. People who are sending me this picture of this Mexican MP who took off all his clothes in the parliament to embarrass himself, to say, you're ashamed to look at me with no clothes, but you're not ashamed to look at all those people suffering outside there. And it's a wonderful message to send. Like all of you who got excited to send the message about Stalin and the feathers and the chicken, and you're not realizing it falling in your own backyard. Because if you are not ready to stand up fully clothed for Trinidad and Tobago, don't be sharing nothing about people who are willing to take off theirs for their country. Yeah? I just find out we have a massive following in Freeport, and I would like to say a big shout out to the people of Freeport. Thank you very, very much. And like every other part of Trinidad and Tobago, the mission is to elevate you. The mission is to give you all, first world, everything that you need to get. The mission is to make sure that those who are in public service, from the president down, serves you. And if they don't, that they're fired and replaced by people who will. That's the whole mission, you know. Don't get it wrong. I'm not here to cross swords with Rowley and Amory Brown and them wannabe say they care politicians. I'm just here to make sure they do their job. The opposition leader, girl, you could sleep whole day and you could sleep whole night. You and Vassant and the rest of all, you can have all the public arguments on opposition funds. But you ain't doing one ask for the people of Trinidad and Tobago, and they see that. Good night, Philip. I never thought I would see the day when Trinidad and Tobago would become a laughingstock for CARICOM and the international community. I am in disbelief and I'm asking myself, how did we get to such a low place? From a proud, rich, happy nation to one of such unhappiness, hatred, and deep corruption in almost every area. We got here through laziness. We got here through contempt. We got here through racism. It was too easy to divide us. It was too easy to make us dislike each other. And once we were fighting down on the bottom for gumdrops and jelly beans, they made off with the nation's patrimony. Hi, good night, Mr. Alexander. What's your position on licensing office, another corrupt entity? Like all corrupt entities, it must be brought to proper operation. Perfect, Philip, I want to make Trinidad the greatest country there is. Come on board. Come on board. If that is your intention, come on board. This is a Friday night. Tonight's a Friday. You know, I want to say something tonight. Things happen. I remember when bars started to open on Arapita Avenue. I grew up in Woodbrook. And it hurt me that bars were opening up on Arapita Avenue. You see, there were places like South Key and Independence Square, that Frederick Street, that made for that. Upper Frederick Street would have been perfect to turn into that. But we did it at Arapita Avenue because we tried to take advantage of the fact that Arapita Avenue was safe. And it was safe because it was a community. And it was a residential community with churches and mosques and temples and parks and streets and community centers. And the people of Woodbrook lived together so well. And by the time the bar owners, those greedy sons of bitches who descended on it to take advantage of that environment, by the time they did that, the population was aged. They were elderly. When people get elderly, usually they get infirm, but they didn't care because they was down there to scratch out profits. And they were saying things like, well, boy, we drive up the value of your property, sell your property and go and live elsewhere. They have people who like to grow old in the house where they could touch the wall, where they mark all the heights the children grew to. They didn't have to be put through that. I remember I had to stand for the people in a street by a bar named Roscoe. Me and the owner of Roscoe end up Ross Mill and end up having a conversation about it. We became friends after. But I remember I went to that place once. I went to it because some friends went and they made me come. They inveigled me to come. But I was standing up on the back porch and the music was playing loud. And I was watching bedroom window on the left, bedroom window behind, bedroom window on the right. And I was thinking, because I grew up in Woodbrook, and I was thinking if a bar had opened behind my parents' house when we were living there, how we would have felt. But it's like Trinidadians don't really care. And I watched COVID-19 pass through this place like the hand of God. And to be honest with you, I hope places like Woodbrook go back to residential. You see, Western Main Road was already whatever it was. Why did we have to destroy residential communities? There's a law that you can't get a bar license within a 3-mile radius of a church. That means every single bar in Woodbrook is in violation of that very rule. And the Woodbrook licensing committee have to answer for that, and every single person who have a bar license under what kind of skimmy-dimmy. But I had to tell somebody yesterday, there are a lot of people on Saddle Road, Maraval, that own the River Reserve. Whole high-rise apartments went up on the River Reserve, a very big established supermarket from a massive national conglomerate chain is doing big business on the River Reserve in Maraval. So we don't care that what we doing to profit up there robs the people down the road of being able to get water. Fire truck them. People tell me stop cussing. So fire truck them. We will make all our profit up here. You get your ass down there. And we'll call that living as a community. Come on. Come on. And you want to save the environment with bags, with reusable bags. But you build your store on the River Reserve. You're fooling people with marketing and high-sounding prose on the bought and paid for media, because they wouldn't call you on the phone and say, is what Phillip Alexander saying true? Is that store built on the River Reserve? But this is Trinidad and Tobago, and these things have been allowed to happen because we've never had real leadership with real care and compassion for the people of this country. That changes now. There is a citizens union, and we will stand up for the downtrodden and the left behind. We will make sure that the rising tide that lifts all boats, it's a red, white, and black tide. We are coming to stand up for all of Trinidad and Tobago. We want everybody to be wealthy. We want everybody to be rich. We want everybody to make it. So don't think we have a problem with wealth. What we have a problem with is corruptly enriched wealth. We have a problem with funny money wealth at the expense of everybody else. We have a problem with cocaine money corrupting our public service, making it difficult for everybody else to do anything right. We want a better country. Join the Citizens Union of Trinidad and Tobago right now, tonight. Go and find that page, citizensuniontt.org. Type in citizensuniontt.org. WhatsApp 7694590 right now. Say, sign me up. I want to be part of the rising tide that lifts all boats. I want to be part. You see, every single person, whole day has been telling people, don't call me, WhatsApp it to me. Don't voice note it, WhatsApp it to me. People tell me, yeah, boy, Phillip, I will type it, but I need to talk to you. I need to talk to you. For what? For what? One, I don't have the time to talk to everybody who have a story to tell. And two, after you tell me and I say, wow, that's tough. Wow, that's corrupt. Wow, that's nasty. What else happens then? Nothing. You wasted your time and you wasted mine for a wow. WhatsApp it to me. I said the other day, if you have evidence and you're willing to give it to me, I will take it to the Commissioner of Police myself. I'll put it in his hands. I'll make sure that the law is enforced, and I will assist in any way that I can to make sure that happens. But stop the thing about wanting to talk. Stop sending me. If you overwhelm me with words, I'm going to have to ignore it. And you need to understand, I had to tell a gentleman this morning because he met me at work. And a lot of people get excited when they meet me in real life. But we were working this morning and I told him, so he came and said, hey, Phillip, how are you going? I said, hi, good, man, how are you? You good? Right. I said, but I can't talk right now because we're kind of working. He said, yeah, no, I don't have a problem, but I just want to talk to you about something. So what part of me said I can't talk to you right now? He said, I just want to tell you something. I said, this is why people just have to say I'm an asshole. Because at this point, I have to be an asshole to you. And I have to tell you that now I cannot talk, unfortunately, but I'd like to talk to you again. If you have something to tell me, WhatsApp it to me. You know why I tell people to WhatsApp stuff to me? If you type it properly and you WhatsApp it to me, and I can get it to all the people I've gotten assistance for people with existing government ministers, the last government, the last party, this government, because I could still work on your behalf and I could still help you and assist you in any way that I can. But calling me and talking to me, the time that you're taking, hear this, while I am talking to you, I'm going to get 100 messages on this phone tonight. And there's no way, I have to literally get the gist of what you say in the first couple lines. And if it goes on and on and on and I have nothing inside of there that's telling me what this is about, I'm going to stop. So if the nuggets are at the end, you lost and I lost. And the time that it takes for you to record a voice note is wasted time. I never press play. Do not send me voice notes. If you can't type it, I can't listen to it. And I'm saying this so you understand I have taken on this responsibility and I am willing to stand up for everybody. But you ought to help me because I don't have a big staff. A lot of what I do is just me. The Citizens Union is a big organization already, and that there are teams dealing with membership and setting everything up. But when you all call to talk to me or when you message me, it's me. And a lot of y'all know that. A lot of y'all get surprised that I answer my phone or I return the missed call. And if I call you and say I got a missed call from this number, use it wisely. And I'm saying that only because there's only one of me. And if Papa God could give me a clone or two to do that part so I can relax, we're dead. But the truth of the matter is there's only so much any one human could do, time and motion notwithstanding. I love everybody who is falling in love with the movement. Remember, it's not just me. It's a lot of us. It's not just me. I talk well and I talk a lot, but there's a lot of us actually making it happen. When we say wheels on the ground, it's a lot of wheels. All right? So I love everybody who's in love with what we're doing, and I love you for wanting to stand up with us. I love everybody who tonight going to call Felicia on 7694590 and make a donation to the Citizens Union to help us. We're putting down right now a national office, and anybody who would like to help with that, please. $100 or $1,000. And you'll always hear me begging because the other political parties, they get to stunt with 9 BMW and go and stand up by Price Mart and pretend they're selling tickets. We don't have all of that. We don't have $300 million war chest. We could only come to you. We work hard for it. We print with jerseys, we sell in with jerseys. We organize in the union, we have all dues for you to join because there's only one way forward together, and it's going to come at a cost. We have to pay together. But tonight, this time that we spend in here, this comes at a cost to me and to all of us. And all of this we put in willingly and joyfully for Trinidad and Tobago. Today I was in a bank. I have a business account and a personal account. And I asked the bank today if I could put some money on my card so that I could have it to go to the grocery over the weekend. And they said, no, we don't do that again. I said, so I can't write a check to me? Yes, you can. And can I then deposit that money in this account? We only deposit in cards over $20,000. So I have to write a check for $20,000 for you to put it in my personal account so I can have some grocery money. Yes. Other than that, you have to go to the ATM. So if I wrote a check right now to myself for $20,000, you'd cash that? He said, yes. I said, if I wrote that check and I asked you $20,000, deposit on my card, will you deposit? He said, no. I said, why? He said, because that's against the rules. So the bank is making up arbitrary rules. I'm paying fees. And the only reason I'm complaining and not taking massive action, because I want to tell you something. My memory long like an elephant trunk, you know. I don't forget, you know. And I tell people, I say the shit you do me wrong 2 years, 5 years, 10 years ago, we smiling at each other. But no, that I ain't forget. And they have a settlement. I've been diagnosed as having an overdeveloped norm of reciprocity. I hate injustice. Don't do me wrong. Don't do me wrong at all. And the bank need to know that at some point a window will open. Just a crack. And that crack in that window we will use to bring those empires down. And they will ask one another, why are the people doing this? Because they'll forget every single opportunity they had. And I said to the teller today, I said, you and I have no problem. You and I have no problem. You don't make the rules in this bank. But I want you to hear this. What's being done to me on this side of the counter will be done to you on the other side of another counter one day. And you will feel how unjust it is to have somebody arbitrarily tell you against the rules of what they're supposed to do as proper banking practice, having nowhere to turn to in a country where the government is corrupt and missing in action, where the opposition is asleep at the wheel, where there's no organization that we could go to and say, look at what the banks are doing us. That's why we have to organize ourselves as a consumer club, as a members club, as an organization of people who will stand up. You go and read and research what Ubuntu is in Africa. Go and read what Ubuntu is. We're going to use Ubuntu as our guiding principle. If anybody plate empty, we will share from our plate, or we will make sure that they get food. That's how we have to live as a people. That's how we used to live as a people. As Wayne Sturt shared tonight, Abdul Malik, they found dead bodies, two dead bodies in Abdul Malik's garden under a bed of lettuce in 1971, and they hanged him in 1975. So that means in 1971, it was discovered, and then all of the prosecution and the evidence and the case and the appeal, everything happened, and 4 years, by 1975, he was hanging at the end of a rope for murder. And I wonder, how did we move from there to a country that cannot prosecute within 5 years, so that Pratt and Morgan kick in and they vacate death sentences? And I am not saying that I support the death sentence. I'm just saying that we went from a functional country. I drove downtown and I looked at the central bank building that we got from the Queen, and I looked at what they're using as the City Gate building, which was Her Majesty's train station. And I watched those buildings, those two buildings in Port of Spain on Independence Square, one on South Key, one on Independence Square. And I watched those two buildings, and I know, and I can tell you, when everything else that we built since in the 58 years that we've had control of this country, when everything else we built has fallen to the ground, has eroded and collapsed, those two buildings that the Queen built will still be there, standing strong, like the roads the British built in this country 125 years ago, that's standing today. But our shit snake kickback contractors building roads that collapsing in 5 years. And we, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, only hearing that your children flying to Vegas on private jets, liking themselves, buying the best on our money, because what you're doing is criminally corrupt. You and government ministers and public office holders. But I want to say again, I want to use the Black Lives Matter movement to make my point. You ever hear the saying, all unfair games will one day be played over? Everything that you got away with black people in America, all of it now on the table. 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. People say, but why are they going as far back as Columbus? They could go back till the dinosaurs. It is their right. If you weren't feeling their injustice, hush. Don't talk. Don't talk. Because injustice is something that is carried forward for generations. And to the people who standing firm, for mommy and daddy and grandpa and grandma who in the ground now, and you're fighting for causes that they went through, you have my unflinching support. And all unfair games in Trinidad and Tobago will play over. Porsche cheaper than Toyota, no problem at all. One day you might find yourself having to defend that while driving back into town in a Yaris. Yeah? Will the Citizens Union be having meetings to discuss ideas? Because I would like to help with tech stuff in any way I can. Also, our capital needs to be restored and made beautiful again, because it's sad seeing the architectural beauty go down. Absolutely agree. I support the Citizens Conservation Group led by Jeffrey McLean, renowned architect. And I agree with you on that. I'm going to copy this WhatsApp that you just sent me, and I'm going to send it to the leadership team to get in touch with you about your offer to assist. Next is, right? The Privy Council pardoned my uncle years ago, and he's still incarcerated in Port of Spain. Everything is lax here. the person who sent me that, I'm not going to call your name, you said that the Privy Council pardoned your uncle years ago and he's still incarcerated in Port of Spain. I want you to contact me tomorrow morning, 682-2110. I want you to prove that to me, this statement. I want to take it to the best criminal lawyer I know. Listen, appoint Wayne Sturge and Mario Merritt on notice now. If this person, I'm not calling your name, you said the Privy Council pardoned your uncle years ago and he's still incarcerated in Port of Spain, I want you to contact me tomorrow morning, anytime after 9, 682-2110. I want evidence of this. I'm taking it to Wayne Sturge and Mario Merritt. And if this is true, the Citizens Union will put its full weight behind you and we will not stop until your uncle walks out of jail. Okay? So when you send me a message, make sure you could back it up, eh? When you need hard facts on Venezuela, feel free to reach out to me. So true. So true. I will send you all the info you need. No bullshit. Keep sending it. Good evening, Mr. Alexander. What is your take on the retirement age being extended age 65? It is 5 years of theft. The government knew that they couldn't pay the retirees who were coming of age this year, so they pushed them forward 5 years, and that is a criminal act. You could tell the people 5 years from now, but you can't tell the people who due to be retiring now that they can't. That's a criminal act. I'm already on board. Well done. Good night, sir. How do I get money Stuart Young's company is owing me? All right. This person also, 682-2110, contact me in the morning. Bring your evidence and I'll call Stuart. All right. I will make a personal call to Stuart Young if you have evidence that Stuart Young's company is owing you. Cool. Yeah, I'm going to look for some lime and honey after this. I'm talking too much. Trinidad and Tobago, Citizens Union, we coming together as one people under one flag. And I tell you all already, lawful, law-abiding, legal, constitution. You don't have to burn a thing. You don't have to wear down your shoe. See all that? Them days done. Your labor, your consumption, your vote. The three pillars of power that uphold this country. We will take it forward from here. Tonight, I'm expecting 1,000 people to WhatsApp 7694590 and say, sign me up. Or you could go to citizensuniontt.org. Click in the middle of that page, you will see sign up. Sign up right there. They'll be calling you all through this weekend. They're practically working round the clock. Get yourself on board. Together we are stronger. Together we will make Trinidad and Tobago a better place. Stop hating your brother for having a different race or a religion from you. That is not your concern and he ain't supposed to be hating you. We need to go forward together as one people under one flag. The day that we unite the strength of the people of this country, all unfair games will play over. So sign up, get on board. Those of you who are financially able to help, call Felicia Holder directly, 769-4590, and make a donation to the Citizens Union of Trinidad and Tobago. We're going forward together, one people under one flag. Until tomorrow, stay